Hello everyone, I'm Melanie and I am here today to share one of Paperomia's fall digital sets. This particular one is Autumn Bliss and it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, you can see some of the papers here. They have got sets that a set within the set I like that about Paperomia. They have these little sets within their sets. There's houses and pumpkins, beautiful like vases and flower arrangements. There's some really pretty journaling pages on here. These are ones that I have already kind of cut down for some of the other stuff I was doing, or for some of the stuff I've been doing, cutting them down so that and using them to fit on my pages. Here's some that are really pretty that look like watercolor and maybe pencil. Very pretty stuff. The ladies over there are very, very talented at Paperomia. So here is kind of what I have done so far with some of it. Mind you, none of these are complete yet, but this will give you an idea of some of the different things you can do. And probably on the next video, I'm going to show you at least some of these complete and ready to use. This is just a little insert that you can use, a little file pocket insert. It has a pocket here. Then it has this cute little flip out that I made of a little file folder cutout that's in there that has these cool little pocket in here, little pocket places. This is I like experimenting with different types of binding and doing like small, like little journals that you would use maybe for, you know, specific things or a month, something like that. This one is one I did with tab binding, and I used the some of the papers from the actual kit to make my tabs with, and I mixed it with some of my coffee dyed paper to make a real pretty kind of this is probably mostly just for journaling, and you could decorate up some of the pages and put pockets in here. And I left some of these pages white so that if you wanted to, you could actually like color them with stamp ink, spray ink, however you wanted to change the color, or even if you just wanted to paste another paper over it, make it a two-sided kind of look. This is a fun one. I like this. This one, I took all the pages that they had that were like had big journaling spots on them, and I made a two-sided, just like a writing journal with it. And I may have it upside down. I think I do. Here we go. And you can use this as just a simple writing journal. You can maybe do artwork in it. You could excuse me, you could attach pictures on here. Maybe make this this would be a cute little travel journal to take any of your little fall trips with. You can put your memories in here and all your little mementos that you collect, and write down, you know, what days you did. I like that kind of binding. These bindings, you can look, I've seen, I can't tell you any one specific person that I watched. I have seen several different artists and crafters use these bindings. If you would just go into YouTube and type in junk journal binding or just journal binding, and you will get all kinds of fun stuff to do and try. This is another one too that I really like. I don't even know what this one's called. I don't know that it has a specific one, but you essentially are binding together using strips of paper. And again, I used pages from the kit to actually make my paper strips because they do show, so you want them to be pretty. And I mixed it with some book pages and some more coffee dyed paper. And I just went to town, and this could be a really good junk journal. There's plenty of room in here for writing, plenty of room in here for decorating and sticking pockets and putting inserts and flip outs. You could do all kinds of stuff with that. Covers, I have not done the covers yet. For me, I generally do all my covers last because I never know exactly how I'm going to do the inside until I've done it. And then I generally like to make my cover somehow meet the theme or the aesthetic of what I've done on the inside. And this one you will see again. You'll probably see the others again after I've put covers and stuff on them and gotten them better ready. I'll show them to you again. This one, I actually took an old book, and again, this is not a single person. I mean, I'm quite sure a single person at some point in time came up with the idea, but this is really cool, and there's many ways it can be done, but I'm converting this old book into a junk journal. I've done this is my first time doing one as a junk journal, but I've done several of these to make them into art journals, and it's just really fun stuff. And I just went in and used all of these beautiful sceneries and papers from the kit, Autumn Bliss. It's got some beautiful stuff in here. There's pockets. I made pockets here. I'm actually working on a video that will show you how I turned this into, it's not hard, and it didn't take very long, and how you can turn it into a junk journal. And it's simple to do, and there's plenty of room in here to decorate on, to write on. I've got plenty of pockets and pocket spaces. This right here is a whole page, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm actually going to show you how we're going to do something similar. But this is a whole page pocket that I inserted in here. And then I've got an envelope flip out, and of course right now all I'm doing is setting up the pages, so I haven't done any decorating, and I've got some foibles that are going to have to be covered somewhere along the way. And I did this was the prettiest page, and I hated to cut it up, but I just loved this bird and this flower so much, and I managed to get out of this one page, I got decorations for this page, and this page. And so, I mean, you don't have to use this as just a whole single page. I look at this and I see probably, I don't know, I see maybe tags with this on it, maybe a pocket with this little section on it, possibly even a writing page, because you have this whole little section right here. So, I mean, there's so much you can do with these pictures. You just get your mind in there. They don't have to be just what you're looking at. They can be all kinds of stuff. And here we go. I got a belly band out of this one. Another pocket here. And these backgrounds, all I did is that's napkin. That's just napkin. Here's another writing spot. Now, here is what I'm actually going to do quickly, tutorial of today. I want to say that it is her name, the Vintage Journaler. Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I believe that's her name. If I can remember it, I will post a link to it. But what we're going to do is, one of the things you do in here that I show you do in here is you leave a little piece, this little part right here that's doesn't have text on it. I left it in right here, so that's how I connected this pocket. Okay, and what I did was I took an envelope. This is just a junk mail envelope that I decorated. I cut it down to size. I did a little bit of collaging on it and decorated it all up. We're going to insert this in here We're going to glue it in, and as you can see, I made it a little smaller than the actual page, and I will show you in just a second why I did that. So what I need to do then is I need to put a little bit of glue along the bottom of this. Y'all bear with me. I'm very, very, very new at doing tutorials. So, there's going to be quite a lot I may forget, or I may just be stumbling through. And then just stick it down in there, center it up really good. Stick it down in there in between. Hang on, I need to check and make sure y'all are actually seeing this. It looks like most of what you're seeing is my computer. Okay, no, we got it. Okay. Slide it down in there, let the glue dry really good. And you want to make sure you get it glued in there really good and nice and tight. And you want to make sure you also glue these two little end pieces together as well. You want this envelope to be nice and tight in here, and you'll understand why in a minute. But we want to get this all nice and glued. And I have made a little messy mess right here, so just kind of wipe it up. Okay, the name of my my YouTube channel, that is going to be, it's actually up already, and I think I have one video on it from a live I was in, but it is probably, what I call the channel is probably the best way to describe me, and that is just Let Me Be Crafty. So that's the name of my channel, Let Me Be Crafty, and I will have this posted on it afterwards. I don't claim to be a neat crafter, but I do claim that I can hide mistakes. I'm good at that. I can hide mistakes, make it look like I did it on purpose. So as you see me make little mistakes, I know you're probably sitting there going, get that glue off of there, or you missed a spot. That's not how I did it. Well, just let me be crafty. All right. Y'all pardon me, I keep clearing my throat. Got some sinus stuff that I've been getting over for about 3 weeks. All right, now that we have this all nice and tight in here, we're going to set this aside and let it dry. Now, I'm going to pull my little glue thing over here, and I'm going to get this stuff out of my way. All right, now, knowing my luck, I'll glue all those pretty papers all right together. I'm not giving you measurements, because when you do this, your measurements aren't always going to be the same, because it'll depend on the size of your book. It'll depend on, you know, the size of the papers you're using. But what I did, long story short, what I did was I took 2 pieces of cardstock, okay? These 2 pieces of cardstock need to fit the width of the book, the length of the book and the width of the book. So I just measured them up so that they would fit the way I need them to fit. Okay? That's all they did. That's all I did. What we're going to do here is we are going to put, I picked 2 pretty pictures from the set, and I want them to be, they need to be just a little smaller, so let me take a little bit of the edgings off of them. We're gonna how do I want to take from this? I want to take from that end. So we're going to bring them down just a little shorter. Just a smidge shorter. Let's see if that's short enough. Perfect. And then I need to make them just a smidge. I'm going to do them separate because I want it to come off this edge just a little bit. And then I want it off this edge just a little bit. And they don't have to be perfectly the same size because they're not going to be sitting next to each other. Actually, that's crooked. Did I get that crooked? Ah, I sure did. All right, let me try this again. All right, there we go. They're not going to be sitting next to each other. They're going to be on opposite sides of the page from each other. So if they're not both perfectly the same, it won't be a big deal. Ah, that will work. That will work. Now I just need to figure out which backing do I like the best on which one. I don't know, I feel like with that being so dark. No, I like it better the other way. Okay, now then, I also want to, since I'm putting them down on here, I'm going to ink up the edges just a little bit. I guess I should do this where the camera is. Just want to darken the edges just a little bit so that they pop a little more against the cardstock. I don't want to do them too much because I don't want to take away from the pretty picture. Okay, that goes on that one. And this is O2 ink, Alina Craft. This is actually a very good acid-free ink. I have several of them. This one's called Rotting Wood. And it's a pretty kind of, depending on what color you put it with, it can look like anywhere from a grayish brown to a grayish green. It's got more of a moss green undertone to it, but like I said, depending on what color you put it with, it brings out different tones that the ink actually is. Okay. Now then, what we need to do is glue. And since these are just, I printed all of the prints I did for the inside of the book I'm doing right now. I did all of those on just 20-pound copy paper. For some of the other ones I did, I put them on different paperweights and cardstock based on what I was doing with them. Oh, I need to also show you, there's some very pretty, I'll show you some of those pages before we go. There's some really pretty ephemera that goes with this, which the next time we are going to put some of the ephemera together, and I'm going to show you. I will have some of it actually done already, and I can show you how I used it. And I'll pick a really fun one to use to make and center this better than I did, to make something out of. All right, let's get that down. It's fairly well centered. And I skipped a little piece right there. I'll come back later and fix it. Got a little part right there that I didn't get glue on. Put that over there. And then Like, but anyway, the reason I'm just using, since this is just plain paper, lightweight paper, and it's going on just some 65-pound cardstock, so glue stick, a good glue stick would hold it down really nice. And let me make sure I get all of my edges this time and corners. Okay, get that out of my way. Put this the right way up. And I'm still as far as time put in doing the crafts, I'm still a bit of a novice, but I have learned a lot. I love doing it, and I'm kind of a teacher by nature, so I enjoy showing people what I've learned, or how I figured out something and how I did something. I think this is a little crooked, but I can fix that later. All right. You can always fix crookedness by putting something on the edges that make it look crooked. All right, so now we have our 2 pages. And what my intent is we're going to put this together so that it's like a big side pocket. And then we're going to put it over the envelope so that it fits over the envelope. It will slide over it to make a hidden pocket. And since I have never done this before, and I'm doing this off of a video I saw a long time ago, I am really, everybody cross their fingers and don't breathe too awfully hard. Make sure, since we want this to be the part we're seeing and we need this edge to go over it, so we're going to glue these 3 sides. Alright. And we only need to glue it on one, so I'll glue it over here. Let's line it up. And hope that I have everything shifted the way it should be. Looks like it. Yay. You know, sometimes you just get proud of yourself. All right. Okay, we need to let that dry for just a second because I don't want to pull it apart when I go to put it over the top of this. So let me let that dry for a second and I'll show you. This is, I'm still working on the rest of it, and this kind of gives you an idea of how I know what I'm doing with each of them, with each of the pages, because I paper clipped them off. I know that if I have 3 pages together like that they're either all 3 going to be, you know, like decorative pages, or I'm going to glue one of them together and make 2 decorative pages. I put sticky notes on things so that I know what I'm doing. I went ahead and set pockets up so that I know that, you know, I'm making a pocket right here. And I'm curious to know how, hope that one works the way I hope it did, because I've never done what I just did right there. Some more places to stick things in, more pockets, I mean glue pages. It's a fun process, it really is. But I have found from doing my art journals, the best way to do this is to go through and take all of your pages out, to go through it. I'm sorry, we're going the wrong way. Go through and take all the pages out first that you're going to take out, and then go through and glue everything together that you're going to glue together. Because generally by the time you start, when you're talking about gluing the pages, once you start from one side, by the time you get to the other, the front side's done, it's dry and ready to go. Then you can come back through and do this. Now, since I am doing my gluing a little differently, because with an art journal I would not normally have, I'm sorry, my kitty cat tried to jump up here and she missed. We almost had a debut. Since I'm trying to put my papers, or since I am putting papers on these, I would not normally do that in an art journal. I actually do my work over the text. I am gluing as I go because I don't want to glue down my pockets if I'm needing to tuck paper up under there. So, all right, so this is probably dried enough. And then this should just slide. Because you made your envelope a little smaller, and I may have to cut off, nope, I sure didn't. Now you have a tucked page. But what I did do, so be careful you don't do this, take this out, let it finish drying, because where I had these glued, it wasn't completely dry and they stuck over the top. So make sure you don't do that. Don't leave it in there anyway, or you're going to end up gluing your page. And my suggestion would be to maybe trim down that little piece right there. So that it is not in your way. There we go. Now, let's tuck the pocket back over. And now you have a little secret hidden pocket and page. And you can decorate this up more if you want to. Close your book. And we have a book started. Yay! All right. And I'm going to take this out till this finishes drying. Because knowing my luck, it'll all come apart sitting in there like that. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I will be back in before the end of the month. I think on the 30th, I will have another video to post where I will show more of this. I will show, I wanted to show you some of the really pretty ephemera. Here's some of the ephemera. Here's some of it I've already cut. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I love this little scarecrow. He's so cute. And then here's, I've already cut a lot of it. And here's the pages, different. I did some of these labels on cardstock. There are journaling cards in here. So pretty. Everything is so pretty. Like I said, these ladies did an amazing job. Some more journaling cards. I did some more of the fussy cuts. Some of these fussy cuts, I did them on, see, like I did some on copy paper, and then some I thought these would be really pretty to use as like little tucks and pockets, so I wanted them on something a little stiffer, and I thought they came out really, really pretty on this colored cardstock. Here are some stamps with the beautiful ladies. Some more little pictures, words. I print out words on regular paper as well, but I did them also on, I thought they came out really, really pretty on dyed paper. So you don't have to print them out on just as, you know, that was mistakes. Just as on plain old copy paper. You can print these out and they come out beautiful. The colors still come out very gorgeous. These are just very beautiful kits. And again, this is Autumn Bliss in the Paperomia shop. And this is Melanie from Let Me Be Crafty. That's all I ask. Just let me be crafty. Y'all have an amazing day, and I will see you the next time around. Thank you.